fact that there is now a perception, and this has been built with several state governments starting way back in 2016 with Arunachal, when there was wholesale defection, when an entire government of Prema Khandu, and Mr. Narasimha knows because he was general secretary there, moved suddenly from Congress to BJP. Then you've had instances like in Goa where you were not the party number one, yet broke the smaller parties or allied with the smaller parties, broke the Congress, formed a government. Then in 2019, you come back and form a government in Karnataka. In 2020, you topple a government in Madhya Pradesh, and now in Puducherry. So it's not an isolated case. There seems to be a pattern where the BJP looks for vulnerable Congress governments and topples them. I know you don't like the word, but give me a better word than toppling for a government that is elected or has a majority which is then, through defections, removed.
No, a government which loses its majority becomes a minority government, and it's not necessarily always because of something happening outside.
No, who is responsible
first
for
of all, one second, Narayan Swamiji. See, in Karnataka, how are we not eligible to be? We had the mandate. And you have no problem if Congress and a defeated party teams up with the Janata Dal Secular. Two defeated parties really form a government. You find that to be a bona fide action. Whereas BJP forming a government legitimately.
No, you have every right, sir, you have every right to form a government, but the governments are done by engineering defections.
No, but you see, certainly a state requires a stable government. And we were in the best position to give a stable government in Karnataka.
In Madhya Pradesh,
had the number.
In Madhya Pradesh,
in Madhya Pradesh, they had no better numbers. We were more or less on the same numbers. They were slightly, marginally ahead.
But you engineered defections.
No, it's not, Rajdeep. I think I will make it very plain and simple. It is not our job to keep the Congress party united, stable, and keep a falling ship. It's not our job to keep them united. They have to look after their party. We have not been given job to keep the Congress united.
Narasimha, that's a good point, because I can go back to the era of Indira Gandhi, when Indira Gandhi used to engage in the worst form, many believed, her governments of wholesale defection, which eventually resulted in an anti-defection law being brought into the country. So it's not that the Congress can claim moral high ground that this has only started after 2014 or 16. The fact is, particularly in small states like Puducherry, governments are vulnerable. 3 or 4 MLAs defect, a government can be toppled.
No, only 4 of 10 governments so far completed their terms.
In fact, I tell you one thing. Because in the system that has been adopted by BJP, it's very clear to the people. They purchase MLAs, tell them to resign, then get them re-elected. This is one agenda. The second is to topple a government, take the people outside the state and keep them in an isolated place and topple a government. What happened in Manipur? You forgot to tell Manipur. Manipur, the MLAs, Congress MLAs have been taken by army helicopter. And apart from that, they tried their level best in Rajasthan. They failed there. They tried in Maharashtra. They failed there.
But the argument GVL Narasimha Rao is making is that it is not the job of the BJP to keep the Congress together. If Jyotiraditya Scindia wants to leave in Madhya Pradesh, if there are people in your Puducherry government who want to leave you and side with the NRC or with the BJP, they have every right to do so.
No, I entirely agree with one point that we have to keep our flock together. In a democratic country like India, every political party, every government has to function within the constitution and the rule of law. What they are doing, misusing the power, using money power, and thereby making defection, because they are in the power at the center, misusing the official machineries. One MLA told me, because he did not join that party, one man who is not an MLA, who is going to the prospective candidate in the Congress party, he was called. Income tax officials have threatened him. And thereafter, within 2 days, he went to another political party, taking risk. Why I am telling this? Because this is not a hidden agenda of BJP. It is widely known to the people of this country.
But why do so many of your MLAs have income tax and enforcement problems?
No, they don't have. I tell you one thing. Few income tax they paid, but foisting cases against them. There are certain people who are doing real estate business. Those people have been cornered. That is how Because you cannot, Narasimha Rao, I am telling you one thing. You cannot put everything under the carpet. The people of this country know you have sinister design to topple the democratically elected government, especially targeting the opposition ruled states, because you wanted to have one party rule in the country. Even in your dream, it is not going to happen. The people of this country they have totally decided